Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
Cavs kind of an up and down week, Jay, and I know that Donovan Mitchell was out, but you lose by one in those waning seconds against Memphis. That's one that you really could have gotten against on a winning streak. Then you come out and you just play flat against the Warriors, who said this game, all of our players are going to sit, and the cat into it. This is too young of a team, too gritty of a team to do something like that.
Oh, that is. What did you think about people saying it was a moral victory in that loss against Memphis? First off,
I don't like moral victories.
No, I don't either.
And yes, maybe the Cavs get a little bit more of a pass with those things because them and the Guardians are successful organizations that they do the right things in the offseason, but then they also are building success during the season. You actually see what you want to see during the season, during the run of play. But I'm not taking no moral victories because that would have been last season. This season, you're supposed to be taking a step forward in winning games like that.
I don't call those moral victories. I just call them tough losses. That game was a tough loss. The next one was a pitiful loss. And that was just like the coach said, they disrespected the game and I didn't like it one bit. Thing I like is I like how the coach is going to use that. He's going to use that to make this team better. They're very young. They got a lot of lessons they still got to learn. And when you just disrespect the game like that and think you're just going to roll out and beat anybody because their star players aren't there, you're going to get your ass kicked some nights. And that's exactly what happened to them.
Yeah, they got their ass kicked by guys that don't get a chance to play very much for the Warriors, but know that they're talented. They follow the same culture. That's what culture is right there. I mean, as much as I don't like the Warriors still, by that team and those young players coming out and doing exactly what they usually do, move the ball around, hit a bunch of threes, get some confidence, finish the game off. That's what culture does. It doesn't matter who comes in the game. They're all ready to go and they all either step the game up or they maintain what the strong start was that the starters had. I actually got concerned, Jay, when I woke up yesterday and heard some of the comments after the game, not JB saying they disrespected the game, but usually you hear the players kind of mimic what he was saying. And when Darius said, no, he didn't feel like they disrespected the game, and Karis LeVert said he didn't feel like they disrespected the game, I started to think, and it was only for a brief second, is the message still getting across from JB? And I had my answer in that game against the Bucks. Yeah, they were without Giannis, and the Cavs could have done the same thing, but they were on the floor, getting the floor burns. Evan Mobley comes out with a 38 point performance, career high for him. And you saw that grittiness, you saw the toughness, you saw even when the shots weren't going in, defensive rotations. You made the Bucks work for everything. And
hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
When you play like that the next day after a crap game like that,
yeah,
did you disrespect the game? They could deny it all they wanted.
And
but they proved that if the message worked,
and that's
got to them, it went out, but like,
and that's what makes them so different than when you're going in long seasons, you're going to have games where you get your asses handed to you. And even in nights that you're supposed to win, that may happen to you, but it's how you respond. And the NBA is so crucial. And so is baseball. It's different than football in the fact that, hey, the very next day or the day after, you get another chance to go out there. And when the message is right, when the culture is building, when the culture is right, you see the difference between, okay, one night, we're not going to let that define us. We're pissed off. We're going to go take it out on the next opponent that we have. And that's exactly what they did against the Bucks. And that's why I only question them for a second. And maybe sometimes frustration bleeds over from what we saw during the football season. But again, Cavs and Guardians are on a much different track than the Cleveland Browns.